Welcome back. Joining us now, Stephen Carlton, first Vice President, Jenny Montgomery Scott. Hopefully you've got better news in tonight's finance report than Brian had in his weather forecast.
I am working on my Mother's Day gift as we speak. Thankfully, Brian reminded me, so I was on Amazon looking at gifts for my mom. So that was a little bit of good news from Brian.
As long as it's not a book about grapple.
No grapple. No.
All right, no grapple. Better get working on that Mother's Day gift. It's only a couple of days
you got to
away.
do it. You can't forget. I forgot last year. My mom, bad. Not good.
Ooh, and I thought you were a thoughtful guy.
Yeah, I don't know how I get that impression.
Well, here's what you could buy for Mom.
What?
How about a nice trip to New York State?
That's not a bad idea.
I think that's a nice idea. Your mom obviously lives up in Canada.
Yep.
Invite her down, show her some of the sights of New York State, help add some money into our multi-billion-dollar tourism industry.
Yes, every little bit helps.
That's our first topic tonight. $57 billion in spending in 2012. Direct spending on our tourism industry. A lot of talk about tourism this week. The governor held a tourism summit at the Egg in Albany, got all the players together. So he's going to spend $60 million on the creation of a commission that's going to spend that money on attracting sporting events, advertising, and then a campaign that will outreach to the international visitors, Canada, and the LGBT community.
Yep.
Tourism, big player in this, big part of our state's economy, fifth largest industry.
You know, I was surprised when I heard the fifth largest. I did not realize there was that many people. I mean, it's a huge part in upstate New York. When you think of Saratoga County, you think of Washington, all this area. People come up for the outdoors, the camping, the boating, the track. There's so many things here. So it's nice to see that focus on that area because this will benefit us in a big way.
Yeah, definitely benefit us in a big way as we're pretty fortunate. Saratoga Springs with the track, Lake George, this area already is a given for tourists to come here.
Yeah, I mean, people come from all over the country, all over the state. We're seeing more and more international players, not just Canada, coming to Saratoga.
Well, I'm just trying to help you out with Mom. It's all I'm trying to do.
All right.
Something that really could give us a shot in the arm is all this talk about casinos.
Yes.
Governor out with a lot of information today on casinos. He has unveiled his plan for resort-style casinos. Obviously, the plan, as you know at home, is for 3 resort-style casinos. If you can throw up that map for us, Joel. Joel is our director. This is a map that the governor's office released today. He's broken the state up into 6 regions. Just making sure my math is right, actually 7 regions. I say 6 because the Long Island, New York City area, so far not in line for a casino.
Right.
The governor says that he wants to put 3 casinos upstate. He's going to look at some criteria to put the casinos in one of these different regions. It looks like the major players for a casino right now are going to be our region.
Yep.
As you can see there in the gray, Saratoga Springs, the logical choice. The Hudson Valley, which is in the blue, and the southern tier heading up to the Finger Lakes, which is in the gray. Here's the reason why, Stephen. The green area and the red area, which is, of course, northern New York and western New York, already have Indian casinos on native land.
Yep.
Governor says we'll stay away from them if you pay up. The casinos, the Native American casinos, they've been stuck in a fight for many years where they're not giving a share of the money that they're making back to the state. The governor says, you give us the money, we won't put a casino near you. If you don't give us the money, guess what's opening up next door?
You have to be a little surprised, right? I mean, the Native Americans have had kind of a lockdown in New York for this. A lot of people went to New Jersey, went to Connecticut for gambling outside of the state. And I think Cuomo's kind of said, hey, wait a minute, why don't we have more of these in New York? It's a little controversial. Not everybody loves having a casino in their town. But when it comes from a tax base, how it'll benefit, we're talking about possibly in Saratoga, it'll benefit the city, the county. It's a huge revenue booster, help with property taxes, those kinds of things, keep those things in check. So a little bit of controversy, but it could be a huge boom for the economy.
Yeah, looking at that map, there's some bad news for the 2 areas in our viewing area, for one of the 2 in our area that is looking for a casino. Lake George, which is in the red, just above Saratoga County, they want a casino. The governor said he may leave that area alone because there's already a Native American casino up there.
Yep.
The logical choice would be Saratoga Springs, of course, for our region. No casino in our area, but obviously the Saratoga Casino on Raceway, which is a Racino facility, could be in line. You and I were looking at the criteria for this.
Yeah.
It seems like all the criteria adds up to good news for Saratoga Springs.
Think about all the hotels that are moving into the area, the restaurants that have been built up, the destinations. You've got SPAC for entertainment. This is really a destination site. And so it's not just the casino that people can go to, but international people can fly into this area, come into Albany, and see the Adirondacks, see everything that this community has to offer. And it's a huge, huge benefit. So yeah, I think we've got a lot going for us.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be many surprise faces if Saratoga Springs does get this. The list, the criteria, the number of jobs you'd create. Well, already the Saratoga Casino Raceway has lots of jobs, the capital investment, the revenue, the money that's going to go to the state, the localities. It goes on and on and on. You were saying about the hotels and all those types of things. They want to know if there's a development plan there, if there's the infrastructure in place,
We've
if you
got
can
it.
attract people.
Yeah.
I would say it's a foregone conclusion, but I'm going to go out on a limb there and say that, right?
Keep our fingers crossed.
I think it's going to happen. An update, real quick, on the SEDC. That's of course the Saratoga Economic Development Corporation, Saratoga Springs, the county. I mean, not Saratoga Springs. Saratoga County's part of their way.
Right.
It seemed like a bargain. $200,000 a year for the kind of work they were doing, attracting Global Foundries, attracting the Target Center in Wilton, Quad Graphics in Saratoga Springs. Now they're going to go it alone and spend some big bucks on.
There's a lot of controversy here because you're right. I think we've got 35 years of a great partnership, a great history, a community that's had wonderful success through this partnership. And now we're going into something that's untested, unknown. We don't even know who these new committees, the marketing, the outside experts are going to be. So there's a lot of uncertainty and a lot of concern over this. And I think rightfully so because we've had so much success with this group. So I think there's still a lot of nervousness over this change.
Just real quick, because we are nearly out of time, 15,000 plus for the markets.
Yes.
It can't continue.
There's some definitely, we're all-time highs. We've had some great news, but now's the time to take some profits. Look and see what you've got. Sometimes take some of the harvest of the gains that you've got and reallocate. Look at, PIMCO's been talking about looking at more bonds, looking at diversifying, not just sitting in cash. So now's the time to have a good conversation. We talked about this in November and December last year about reallocating. Unemployment numbers are good. We've got a lot of good news, but don't think this is going to go on forever. I think it's a good time to kind of take stock of things.
All right, take stock. Stephen Carlton, First Vice President, Janie
Thanks.
Montgomery Scott, thank you, sir, for being with us. And stay with us. We'll be right back.